Hi and welcome back to Mike Makes It. Bit of a problem in the workshop. You may recall an earlier video where I upgraded my bug catcher, fly catcher, to ultraviolet LEDs because the glass tube in there that emitted ultraviolet had ceased to be. It stopped working. You saw me install 10 LEDs. They're the Xeon Star type ones. Worked great. It caught wasps, flies, bugs, the whole 9 yards. However, let me power it up. Excuse the arm. You don't know if it's very clear. You're just looking on the camera. Yeah, you can see a couple of them. This top one in particular, a little bit darker, not so bright as the others. Likewise there, this top one, considerably less bright. And if I take the power off, if we go closer, you can see certainly here, that one, next three down don't look too bad. And you turn it over, top one again black, second one down on the way to going black. In fact, the majority of those excuse me, are all very dark. Now I think what's happened, we've had a heat problem. I wasn't overdriving them with voltage or current, but it hangs up from the top, as you'd appreciate. There's a little ring there, and the ones that started failing, you could see them day by day. This one went black first, then the next one, so I'm thinking heat's rising. The ones at the bottom are staying a little bit cooler, so they actually lasted longer, but it's not catching flies very well. And the LEDs are definitely on the way out, so I don't think it's a power problem. I think it literally is a heat problem. I've overrated or overrun the LEDs in the sense of heat. The heat sink wasn't good enough to get the heat away from them, so we're gonna have a second upgrade. I'm moving over to these, or I'm gonna try them. They're like the LED strips you're probably familiar with online. Fairly cheap. This was a little bit more expensive. These are ultraviolet. It ain't no good using anything else. So let me just reaching over. It's 5 volt. This is what I ought to say as well. I'm going for the 12 volt ones. I'm gone for ones I need a weird power supply, like I did for the Xeon Star ones. I went for some that are 5 volts. So should be nice and easy to power it up. Now if I lean over again, I'm just going to plug it in. Bear with me. Ta-da! Right, there you go. 2 meters of LEDs, all ultraviolet. They were around about, I think they're £11 all in, so they're a bit more expensive than the standard white ones you can get. But the idea now, I'm just going to clear this out, take off all the old LEDs on there, and run as many lengths of this as I can up the heatsink up the middle. This does get slightly warm, the new stuff, but it won't be anything like we did have. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll take that apart, strip out the old LEDs and see if we can get some of these stuck on. That's what I'll do now. That's the LED assembly I've taken out now. This was the top, and you can probably see the discoloring of the lenses, and it's not simply just a discoloring. I think the usefulness of the ultraviolet was diminished as well. So yeah, this one went first, then this one. These three look okay, and I think they actually were. These are hanging on, but on the other side, that one's had it. That one slightly tinged, and the one on the bottom's gone the same way. So yeah, I'm gonna chuck all those away. They're no good. And with this strip of LED, like I said, I don't think I'm going to be able to get 2 on this side. If I can get one row there, as a bonus, if I can get 2 on there, that's going to be 3 sides I'm going to get LEDs on. I may have to cut and join them, or I may be lucky and it's not going to be a work of art, but I'm wondering if I can fold it back on itself and get it up instead of cutting. But we'll see. I'll take these off, put them in the bin, clean off the old heat shrink, clean off the old heat sink compound I put on, and see how we can stick the new ones on. So that's what I'll do now. Didn't realise there were so many screws on there. Right, that's done. I'll need to get a drop of IPA to clean that up, so I'll go off to the garage and get that. These are the old boost converters or buck converters. I use them more as a current limit and a variable voltage setup to the LEDs. You could control the maximum voltage and the maximum current fed to the LEDs, so that's why I know I wasn't overdriving them. I set them up quite carefully. But yeah, they were like heatsink compound. They were a couple of £1 a piece, so very good value from Banggood. I'll put a link in the description, but it is all in the old video. Right, I'll go and clean this up and come back. Right, that's all the old heatsink compound cleaned off. You always seem to get it everywhere. Problem with heatsink compound, you've got to be careful. Right, let me unplug that and we'll just see we can get two rows side by side without a problem there. But what I would like to try to do is get it in one piece rather than having to solder it. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to get enough bend on it to bring it back up. But I'm going to play with it, see what I can do, and you'll see the finished result in a minute. Well, there you go. I've managed to get all four sides covered. I don't trust the tape, or the sticky tape I should say, on the back of the LED, so I've just used three tie wraps. Doesn't look that neat, granted, but I think it'll be functional. Hopefully the old flies will like it enough to come electrocute himself. But I'll pop this back together in this frame, and we'll try it again. Hopefully we'll catch some more insects, but I'll show you in a second. I'll put it back together, box it all back up, and show you the finished thing. Okie dokie, all back together. Got the power cables coming out. Let's just power it on. 2 seconds while I lean over. Right, there's your LEDs. I haven't counted them, but well, I counted them out. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So that's 28, 29, 30, 32. There's about 40 LEDs in there, powered off a 5-volt USB charger. Let's just plug the mains into it as well, and to make sure it's still got a bit of a spark, bit of a kick. You see that? Let's have one more go. So that'll give the old flies a bit of a surprise. So yeah, we'll reinstall that in the kitchen, see if there's any flies left to capture. But thanks for watching.